Over here. Hi! This is Ray from soyachincha.com, and today we are going to do a camera comparison where we are going to compare the Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite and also the iPhone 11. So let's go! Before we jump right into the camera comparison, let me briefly talk about the specs of the camera. So the reason why I chose the iPhone 11 and the S10 Lite is because they are pretty much similar. Both of them are the youngest and the most affordable variant among the series, and they both do not have a telephoto camera. The iPhone 11 has three 12-megapixel cameras in total. There's a wide and ultra-wide angle lens at the back and one at the front for taking selfies. The Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite on the other hand has three cameras at the back and one 32-megapixel selfie camera at the front. The back camera consists of a 48-megapixel main camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide angle camera, and a 5-megapixel macro camera for you to take pictures up close. So now we have already talked about the camera specs, so let's dive into the camera comparison. So first up, we have the zoom test. Since both the iPhone and the S10 Lite do not have a telephoto camera, so that means any zoom more than one times is digitally formed. For the ultra-wide angle test, it is obvious that the S10 Lite offers a wider field of view while the iPhone has a slightly narrower range. You will also notice that there is also some barrel distortion at the edge of the photos, which is pretty common on ultra-wide lenses. There are also some subtle differences in terms of their colors. The color produced by the iPhone 11 is a little bit dull, while the S10 Lite is much more vibrant. At one time, consistent results were shown on two of these devices, with the lively colors on the S10 Lite, while the iPhone's color tends to be a little bit dull. At max zoom, I think it is pretty clear who wins this category. Even though the S10 Lite can zoom up to 8 times, while the iPhone only has a max zoom of 5 times, the S10 Lite manages to capture way more detail than the iPhone. I think it is because of the 48-megapixel main camera, which retains a lot of the clarity from a photo. So next up, we have the selfie test. On paper, the Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite has a more capable selfie camera compared to the iPhone. But it turns out that both of the images are actually pretty comparable. Both of them can shoot portrait selfies, and the subject separation from the background is pretty awesome. The only thing that's different is the skin tone. The Galaxy S10 Lite has beautification on default, while iPhone has a more natural looking feel to it, especially when you look at the skin tone. We would not call one of the two images better, it is actually just a matter of personal preferences in this case. So which one do you guys prefer? Do let me know in the comments below. Okay, now moving on to the next category, and we have a set of portrait mode shots using the rear-facing cameras. But I'm pretty surprised that the edge detection from the S10 Lite is actually better than the iPhone 11. If you punch in and look closely, some parts of my hair are missing, which is pretty weird because in my experience with iPhone's portrait mode, they're actually pretty amazing. But for this case, I'll choose the S10 Lite as my winner. Moving on to the next test, we have the macro test. I'm actually impressed with the results on the iPhone 11 because it does not have a dedicated macro camera. But the S10 Lite still wins because it can go even nearer to the subject without sacrificing the detail thanks to its own macro camera. Moving on to our last category, we have the night mode test. Because both of the smartphones come with a dedicated night mode feature, we took two photos for each handset. One with night mode turned on and one with night mode turned off. The first set of photos were taken without the dedicated night mode turned on. Even though this set of pictures was taken under dark lighting, both phones still successfully manages to capture plenty of details from the playground. But when it comes to their colors, I have to say the S10 Lite produces better color contrast compared to the iPhone 11. Things change when you turn on the night mode feature. Both images immediately turn brighter and sharper, and the quality of both images are actually pretty comparable. But I like the skies on the iPhone more because it is much brighter than the S10 Lite, and you will notice that the clouds are much more obvious on the iPhone. Besides that, the S10 Lite sky is much more blue while the iPhone is more purple. Let's end this video with a video recording test, and these were shot with the main camera at Full HD at 30 frames per second. The reason why I shoot in Full HD is because there is no stabilization option when you shoot 4K on the S10 Lite. And we all know that the S10 Lite is marketed for its super steady OIS. If you watch the video side by side, you will notice that both devices suffer from minor jittering, which makes the video look a little unnatural. You can also see differences in terms of its brightness and color vibrancy. The iPhone's footage is significantly brighter and the colors are much nicer compared to the S10 Lite, but the color produced on the Samsung is closer to what I've seen that day. So here's my conclusion. To be honest, there are really no significant differences between the pictures taken by these two phones. But if I have to pick a winner, I'll go for the S10 Lite. It has a 48 megapixel main sensor which promises more detail and clarity in a photo, especially when you zoom in. But the best thing about it is that it is significantly more affordable than the iPhone 11. The S10 Lite is now only going for 2,699 ringgit and it comes with 128 gigs of storage, a large battery capacity and fast charging. The iPhone 11 on the other hand is 700 ringgit more expensive than the S10 Lite and it only has 64 gigs of storage which cannot be expanded with a micro SD card. But that's what I think. I love to hear your thoughts on this too, so do let me know what you think in the comment section below. And also, if you have any phones in mind that you want me to compare, do leave a comment too. So that's it for my camera comparison. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel and also hit the notification bell icon so you can stay updated to our future videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!